AJ, did you spend a couple minutes with your team in there, and if so, can you share what your message was?
Yeah, I did. Let me start by saying congrats to Seattle. Jerry, I go back a long way with. Dan, I've just gotten to know. I mean, that was an incredible win for them, which means it was an incredible loss for us. But I wish them well in the next round. That they earned it, and that was an epic game. As far as my team goes, I spent some time with them to thank them. We had an incredible game today that unfortunately somebody had to lose, and that somebody was us. And it hurts, I mean, that group is, they gave everything they could. You had guys pitching on short rest. You had players giving everything they had because this was game 5, and we wanted so badly to take the next step, as a team. And so I wanted to thank them. We have nothing to hang our head down on, and there's going to be plenty of time to talk about, the season, this game, the peak. But I'm extremely proud of that group in there for what we accomplished and how we fought tonight to try to extend our season.
I guess just along that same vein, the effort you got out of Tarek tonight, I mean, that's about as dominant. I mean, it's a historically dominant performance for a postseason game.
Yeah. No, he was incredible. I mean, he kick-started us in such a good direction. He missed a ton of bats. Again, if you're not a fan of the Tigers and you haven't watched Tarek start after start after start, you're going to see why he gets the love that he does, because he's incredible. He's an emotional leader. He's obviously someone who brings it on the field. You see it every 5 or 6 days. And we've asked a lot out of him all season, but specifically this postseason, every 5 days. So you want the ball in his hand, and you want him to represent your club.
Here on the right side, Jason.
AJ, when the Mariners went to Spire there, were you pretty resolved in letting Carpenter have that at bat?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Spire was going to come in at any point. As soon as we pressured Kirby, which we had a hard time with, I mean, he was pumping strikes and getting outs, and then there was so much game left. That's just regular game. Like, I didn't know we were going to play like a second game. But I felt like that at bat. Carpenter had seen him a couple times, and it wasn't going to be just a free pinch hit. Depending on the score, the situation, a lot could have changed that. But given where it was in the game, and I wasn't going to let him run Carp out of the game, and he put a really good swing on a really good pitcher, and obviously gave us a big boost.
And just with the stress level of Skubal and just the amount he put behind those pitches, was it a fairly straightforward decision to go to your bullpen?
Yeah, easy decision. I talked to him after the 5th. I checked in on him, how he was doing physically and emotionally, and we both knew that he had one left, and he emptied his tank, and obviously was emotional coming off the mound, and that, I think that signals exactly where we were in the game, and he gave us everything he could. He's pitched on regular rest now 3 or 4 starts in a row. He empties his tank from pitch 1. It was an easy decision.
Left side, Cody.
AJ, we know games like this are all hands on deck, but as that gets into extra innings, what's the challenge of managing your pitching?
Yeah, navigating just where they were, with their order. We didn't really want to show the middle of their order the same pitcher. So I went with Cater, and then I went with Jack, got Tommy there at the end, and guys just kept battling. I mean, there were, opportunities on both sides after the 9th inning. It felt like it was a pretty quiet game, from an opportunity standpoint, until we got into extras, and then there were runners everywhere, and there's double plays, and there's caught stealing, and there's bunts, and there's, guys picking up each other on errors or misplays, and I mean that the back half of that game is like a game of itself, and we dodged a few bullets, and so did they, and felt like that game, I didn't want it to end, certainly the way that it did, but we wanted to just keep giving ourselves a puncher's chance, and they outlasted us.
Here in the middle.
some young kids really came up huge, like a rookie pitcher, Cater, guy after guy. What are your thoughts about how the bullpen reacted?
When we grew up as a team, I do think, based on last season, being able to get some experience in the postseason, it's easy to forget how young we are and how much we're still learning. We have a lot to do to get better, but we are taking steps that way. Like even in the rough September, we took steps forward. It's not all about the record when you're learning. And unfortunately, we put ourselves in harm's way a little bit, but we battled back, to get the win in Cleveland, to get the win in Boston, to get a series win in the wild card, to take this to about as far as you can take a series. So we are growing up. We've got areas to get better, but I think these experiences are only going to help a Troy Melton or Cater or Parker, Zach, Ding, catching every inning of the playoffs. There's things to build off of this once the sting of the loss and the abrupt ending of a season, subsides a little bit.
Left side, Evan.
AJ, at what point in that game do you realize you have to get Jack up, and then what does it say about him to be able to do what he did, get out of some really big situations?
Yeah, we talked to Jack at home before we left with, sort of the way that it was going to map out over Game 5, and that he needed to tailor his work to be able to be ready, and he was all in. I told him to go down about halfway through. I'm not even sure when he went down to the pen, but it was going to be this extra inning type of game that was going to take him into the game. So, as guys are getting up, like there's no room for error at the end. Cater gets into trouble. I got Jack up, got Jack in the game. He got in trouble. I got Herter up. I got Tommy up. I mean, we were going to try to piece it together the best we could. But going into the game, in a perfect world, if it with Tarek, Will, Finnegan, Holton, like those guys were going to pitch if needed. On the back end of that, you're just piecing together the best you can to extend the game, because when we were pitching, we were one run from the season ending. So we were going, batter by batter.
Last question here in the front.
AJ, as a game like that goes on and on into extra innings, does the pressure switch all to the hitters? Because everybody looks like they're swinging to end the game, as you would think they would, and the pitchers were just mowing them down on both sides.
I don't think it was pressure. I think the intensity goes to the moment that you're playing. Like there's no looking ahead. You look at the moment that you're playing, and the intensity grows, and every situation's different. We have second and third. The attention's on the at-bat, or we had the bases loaded, the attention's on the at-bat. When they have first and second with nobody out, with the weird bunt play, it's just about the moment, So it wasn't pressure. It was intensity. Every pitch mattered. I think both sides were under a lot of duress during that time. And so, I think obviously hitters are seeing a different pitcher a lot. You got, look at all the starters that pitched today. I don't know. I'd love for this series to go another 6th and 7th game, but I'm not sure any of us have pitching to get through 2 more games. Certainly not the way these 5 games were played. So you could feel the intensity because of how badly both teams wanted it. And, again, one team had to lose, unfortunately, and that was us.
All right, AJ, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. We're trying to figure it out now.
And a sign that I'm also old and I'm dating somebody way younger than me. So he goes, parents have been since 2001, the year I graduated high school. Which is, you're way younger. Couch open, Daniel? Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, just a little.
All right. Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll open it up for questions with Dan Wilson. Start here with Dan on the right.
Dan, we talked so much about 1995, and you were obviously there. Where does this one stack up against that one?
I mean, just a lot of dramatics again, you know, and what it just, I don't even know where to begin to, you know, try to recap, you know, all the heroic efforts that went into today, just from one guy to the next, you know, and 15 innings. I got to say, I don't know how the fans kept their energy going. It was unbelievably loud, even in the 15th inning. And this is a special place. T-Mobile Park is a special place, and they showed us that tonight. And just an incredible ball game from top to bottom. This is up there. I mean, this is up there, no doubt. And it feels really good.
Let's go in the middle.
Talk a little about Lio Rivas' at bat and kind of how that came up and just his execution in that moment.
Yeah, it's such a huge knock, and he's had some big knocks since he's been here, and some down the stretch, couple of big homers for us. He got a chance to get right-handed there, which, he swings the bat very well from the right side. And I just thought, he puts together such a good at-bat. He waits for a good pitch, and he got a pitch, put a really good swing on it. And, again, when you're not in there regularly, that's a difficult task. But he was up to the task tonight. Huge hit, tied the thing up. And then, I think from there, you can't say enough about the bullpen and 2 starters that we had out there in the bullpen. Just taking the ball, and just running with it, and not wanting to come out of the game, wanting to keep throwing pitches and keep throwing innings. And this is, it makes me a little emotional because these guys are unbelievable. Just how much they fought tonight, and we talked about it before the game, and we said part of what makes them great is they don't want to leave the ballpark till they win, and tonight was that. They didn't want to leave the ballpark till they won tonight, and they made it happen.
Go in the front, or go to Dan. Sorry.
Dan, how much are you pre-planning that with Rivas, knowing if AJ brings in the lefty and you obviously have Canzone there as well? Just what went into the thought process for that?
Yeah, I mean, there was a question of whether we let Canzone hit there left on left or whether we, take a shot with Lio and again, going back and forth, Manny, I thought Manny is, he's always got good ideas, and that was a good one. And Lio came up big right there. And again, I think, as we've said before, and we'll say it again, and we'll say it over and over, this is a group effort. And, everybody on that staff is special. Everybody in that clubhouse is special. And we work together very well.
Go to Ryan.
Dan, just the amount of contributions you got from expected and unexpected guys. I mean, like you said, you had 2 starters work multiple innings. I mean, to win a game like this with the back and forth where no team led by more than 1 run, I mean, you have to have everybody do something, don't you, to help win?
Yeah, it does. It takes everybody in a game like this, and we had a lot of opportunities in the extra innings and just weren't able to get over the hump. But huge contributions, whether it was a hit by pitch, a walk, getting on base, doing something special to put the pressure on there, and Polo with just a huge at bat there to get the game winner. Again, you can't. Say enough about the effort these guys put in the fight. We talk about the fight, and we've talked about the fight all year long. To go 15 innings tonight, 15 rounds, so to speak, and to come out on top, that sure feels good.
Go one more with Buster.
Dan, what did you see in Skubal tonight, and how difficult a decision was it for you with Kirby, who pitched so well?
Yeah, Skubal was as advertised. He did what he does. He had a really good fastball again tonight, and mixing his changeup well. Had us off stride, and we had to fight for everything. Getting that 1 run, I thought that great at bat by Garv. After Naylor makes an opportunity available to us, and getting the sac fly was huge to get on top. And then George on our side, that was pretty epic performance tonight. Pitching with a lot of emotion. Again, the fans this ballpark was just loud from the first pitch and all the way through the 15th inning, and kept us going tonight. And I think our guys fed off that very well. And George was one of them. I thought he just had outstanding stuff. And yeah, it's a tough decision, but when you have a bullpen like we do, and it was ready, we were going to be aggressive again tonight, and we were able to be aggressive, and it worked out.
Congratulations, Dan. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get started with Jorge Polanco. We'll start, Dan.
Jorge, just walk us through that at bat. It looks like he's struggling to find the strike zone. You work into a full count. Just what are you looking for in that moment?
In that at bat over there, I I was just trying to get a good pitch to hit. I know he got a pretty good changer. He throws a lot of changer. He got a fastball in there. But yeah, just like I said, I was trying to get a good pitch to hit, trying to drive the ball to the middle.
Go to Ryan in front.
Jorge, we've discussed it before, but you know, the knee surgery, the decision to come back to the Mariners, all the struggles from last year. I mean, you look at where you're sitting right now. How gratified are you, and how thankful you are that you made the choice to go with Seattle and maybe not one of the other teams?
I'm very thankful. Glory to God. You know, He knows I wanted to be here. This is a special group, like I said before. There is a lot of really good guys here and really good people. I just wanted to be back here. You know, I got a tough time, and this thing always keep in touch with me, and I'm glad I'm back here.
We go Buster in the front.
Dan was just talking about the crowd and its energy. From your perspective, what did you feel? What did you hear?
I didn't hear much. This crowd was very loud. I'm happy for the fans to they keep showing up and keep supporting and be very loud. And I just want to say thank you for that, and hopefully they keep showing up.
Go over here to Dan on the right.
Jorge, just what were the emotions like in that game? 15 innings and just the emotions and the exhaustion that went into it.
A lot of emotions since the start of the game. But, you know, we're just trying to keep it simple, try not to think too much. Just trying to go out there and play a good game. I know we play a long game, but this team never give up. I know there is a lot of emotion, but we always trying to keep it simple and just trying to go out there and play and trying to get the win.
Go in the middle.
Jorge, Lio came up for you in that big spot there. It was his first postseason at bat. Hadn't played much recently. I mean, what does it say about him to be able to come through in that sort of situation?
Man, he's one of those guys that he's always prepared. He's always working. He's always doing his thing, getting early to the field and doing all that kind of stuff. So I feel pretty good about him. You know, it is his birthday today too. So it's a special day for him, and I'm glad he got that at bat and delivered in a big moment.
Go back in the middle.
I'm going to do this in Spanish. Jorge, ¿nos puedes platicar un poquito cómo te sientes ahorita y ya que regresaste con los marineros, platícanos un poquito para todos tus aficionados de esta noche y cómo te sientes?
No, me siento bien, gracias a Dios. Hoy fue un buen día para nosotros. Nos sentimos muy contentos que pudimos salir allá afuera, dar lo mejor de nosotros y conseguir la victoria y pasar el próximo paso. Y nos sentimos muy agradecidos de Dios. Esto es una noche especial para nosotros y como te dije, le damos gracias a Dios y hay que seguir disfrutando.
Freddie, you want to give it to us in English?
Yeah, you know, I feel very gratitude. I mean, this is a special group. We've been going through, you know, a lot of great battling throughout the whole year. So I've been very grateful for, you know, everything that has been happening throughout the year.
Anybody else have anything for Jorge? Go here on the right.
Can you say more? Everybody's been saying it's a special group. Can you say more about what makes it special? What makes this group special?
Yeah, that's easy. Everybody stay together. Everybody support each other. When we come to the ballpark, you know, we got one mentality, and it's to go out there and try to give it all. And this group is very special doing that. Like I say, we support each other. We take care of each other, and it is a really good chemistry. That's why we are so special.
All right. Jorge, thank you for coming in.
Yep,
Congratulations. We're expecting a couple other Mariners here shortly. Who's it? Okay. George Kirby will be next.
See if I can find some towels or something.
All right, we'll open it up with George Kirby. George, thanks for coming in. Wants to lead off. Start with Taryn on the left.
George, you started the series, you ended the series. Just what are the emotions now going to a place this franchise hasn't been in over 2 decades?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's super excited. Yeah, we'll be prepared for that. But I mean, everybody tonight, everyone dug deep and found a way to win, and it just goes to show how tough we are. And man, it's just so cool to see everybody, getting the job done tonight. So,
go over here to Dan on the right.
George, how well equipped were you guys to go through the emotions of this game, given that you played the 18-inning game in the playoffs just a couple years ago?
Yeah, I mean, that 18-inning game, and then, man, just countless amount of just, one-run games at the end. Man, we've been in it all. So, if anything, we're probably the most prepared team for it. And yeah, it was just awesome. Polo came through. Yeah, I'm just so freaking happy right now.
Go on the back right.
With your experience coming out of the bullpen in the 2022 playoffs, were you talking at all to Logan and Luis, about how to approach maybe coming out of the pen when they're not used to that?
Yeah, I didn't give them any advice. I think those guys are good enough to, go find something deep inside of them and just go out there and, compete. And that's what they did. Something they're not used to, and they gave us about 5 or 6 innings out of the pen there. That was huge. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Hey, George, given that you did 15 innings and you used a lot of pitchers, including 3 starters, how does that affect your plans going into the Toronto series a day after tomorrow? Does it change the starting rotation or anything like that?
I have no idea. I mean, it's a good question for Dan, but I know everyone's going to be ready to go, and whoever gets the ball past them, they're going to come out and compete. So.
We'll go to Buster in the front.
Can you sort of describe how you took in the rest of the game after you left and where you were moving to and where you were when that last pitch?
Yeah, I came out in the 6th. Went in, did some recovery, came back out in the 7th, and then, was kind of in and out of the dugout from 7 to 15. Just cheering on the guys, do the best I could, keep the vibes up, and yeah, I was in the dugout the whole time. So.
Go to Ryan.
Hey, George, a couple of your teammates really came through. Lio Rivas, who's like one of the nicest guys that everybody seems to like, and even Jorge, who's very quiet but has been around. But I think a lot of guys respect him because he's just about business. I mean, what are those guys like in terms of helping you guys throughout the course of this season?
Yeah, I mean, for one, Leo, whenever he gets his name called, he's ready to go, and he's come up in some big situations already this year. And yeah, Polo's been killing the ball this year. He's really seen it well, and it was bound to happen at some point. Somebody, the more you keep letting us into the game, especially at home, we're gonna find a way. So that's what Polo did.
George, was that as loud as you've ever heard T-Mobile? I mean, there were times where it looked like you couldn't hear the pitch comm, and it was, you struck out a couple of guys. It just seemed like the roof was going to come down.
Yeah, super loud. Yeah, I don't know, from like the 8th on, I had a massive headache, and I'm really glad that game's over and that we finished the job. So, but yeah, it was really loud, and the fans were electric, and, everybody that went on that mound or, stepped on the field definitely felt that, so.
Over here on the right with Dan.
George, it seemed like you were going to the slider a lot, especially early in counts. How much of that was an adjustment, and how effective was that for you?
Yeah, all those guys from top to bottom are probably looking for a heater to start, and it's starting off with a slider or curveball, whatever it may be. Just I feel like kept them off balance a little bit. I was able to attack the zone a little bit more with my fastball. But yeah, had to change something up a little bit. So I'm glad we kind of mixed in the curveball and slider a lot. But kind of kept the same game plan with the heater, mixing the 4 and the 2.
Go to Taryn in the front.
George, Dan and Randy both talked before the game today about how important communication is throughout the game. Just what was the dialogue in the dugout between everybody, especially the longer the game went? Yeah, everyone just having each other's back and cheering each other on. Simple as that. Everyone wants the opportunity to get get up to the plate and finish the job, and everyone was prepared for it. So yeah, just keep the vibes up in the dugout, and yeah, that's what we did.
Go in the middle back.
Yeah, George, how do you guys feel after that? Is that do you feel zapped after such a long game? Do you feel like that adrenaline rush, after such a great win? What's that kind of mix of emotions?
Man, it's a lot. I feel like I pitched 3 days ago, to be honest. But it's just so much, it's just so much joy, and every one of us have worked our whole lives to get to this moment and try and be here at some time, and just really being able to feel that is pretty awesome. So I think everyone's really freaking happy. So
go right over here on the right.
Yeah, kind of adding on to that, you talked about the close games. Can you talk about the belief and determination as a collective to get here and what it took to win this game?
Yeah, no one backs down. I think that's why we've been so good at, tie ball games late in the game. Just find a way to get the run in. Everyone's willing to do whatever it takes to, sacrifice, bunt, whatever it is. Everyone, is willing to get the guy over, whatever it is. There's no ego or selfishness involved with it. I think everyone just wants to, just pass the baton and keep going.
George, thanks for coming in. Congratulations. Bring up Lio Rivas.
How are you guys?
Yeah. Go to Dan on the right here.
Lio, congrats, man.
Thank you.
How has your journey to this point prepared you for the moment tonight, just always being ready when your name is called on?
I mean, it's been a journey, like you say, you know, just every day I take it as a new day here, just as my debut. So I just prepare for any situation, and thank God I just did it today.
Go to Taryn in the front.
Hey again, Leo. Just what is it about this team that brings out the best in you, especially after, you know, the 9 years you spent in the minors, the various stops you had? What is it about this team that you feel like makes you the player you are today?
I feel like they make me feel like home here, though. So everybody has their backs here. So if it's not you, it's just me. You know, it doesn't matter. We just keep each other's back, though. So I'm just grateful for that.
Go to Kate back.
That was a long game. The crowd was in it, though. Even after the home run, it felt like the crowd was continuing to give energy. Can you just talk about the job that they did tonight?
Man, it feels like my experience feel like the ground was shaking every inning. It just feels amazing feeling that, you know. So they gotta just keep bringing that every home game. Yeah.
We go to Ryan in the front. Here.
Leo, when you go up there to pinch hit, did you know that Dan was going to do the switch and pull Canzone? Did he give you a heads up, or how did that work?
Being honest, I was ready to run for Polo on second. Then Manny came to the case. Hey, Papa, come here, go get this guy. I'm like, all right, I got him. You know, thank God I could have made it.
So it's your first postseason at bat. You thought you were going to have to go run, and then you
So the situation, I was like, all right, Polo's on second. You know, I might run for him, and I don't know if I'm gonna pinch hit right now, but I was thinking on running more than pitch hit, and then they just tell me that. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Did you have time to check the scouting report or anything like that, or hear what they had to say, or you just went up there and?
Yeah, Joe. So since the first inning, I always check the report especially of the lefties. So I was checking the report, especially that guy, actually, and I'm like, all right, let's see what he got. He got a quarter, changeup too. He hanged that changeup. Just thank God he hanged it.
Go back to Kate again.
You've spent so much of your career pouring into other people. People have come up, they've gone up before you to the big leagues. They call you Papa.
Yeah.
How rewarding is it to now feel that being poured back into you, all that time you spent paying off, all that you gave other people, you are now getting?
All glory to God, you know. He knows what I've been through. I'm just happy for him, with him, actually. Sorry. I'm just happy with God that, you know, he being good for me, for my family too, that he keep me where I'm at right now. I'm just grateful, you know. It's hard. It's hard, no, everybody, you know, go all the way like that. Most of the people just give up. It's not easy. I was thinking to give up back then also, but I'm just happy with the guy, my family also, that keep me up.
Go in the back middle.
¿En español? ¿Está bien?
Sí, está bien.
Muy bien. Pues tuve la oportunidad de subir y mostrar aquí en el postseason de jugar. Platícanos un poquito lo que te sientes. Platícanos a todos tus aficionados que llegaste al tiempo a hacer algo aquí con los Marineros. Y ahora, ¿cómo te sientes?
Mira, la verdad me siento agradecido con Dios. Sinceramente, Él sabe por lo que yo he pasado en los últimos años. Muchas cosas personales, profesionales. La verdad me siento muy agradecido con Dios, con mi esposa, mis hijos. Es algo, mira, yo lo veía antes chiquitos por televisión, los postseason, ¿sabes? Como ellos festejaban, y yo decía, wow, eso se debe sentir muy bien, y de verdad estar ahorita en este momento, mira, superó todas mis expectativas, ¿sabes? Los fans, mira, no tengo palabras para describir cómo estuvieron los fans en este juego, desde el primero hasta el último inning. Y mira, agradecido de verdad.
Anything else for Leo? Go in the middle.
Leo, as far as your birthdays go, where does this rank?
Best day ever, though. Best day ever, yeah. Since I wake up today, I say to myself, it's gonna be a good day. You know, it's gonna be a great day to celebrate my birthday, and it's been so far a good day, though. Thank you.
All right, Leo. Happy birthday, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. God bless you.
And that'll be it for the interview room.